Hey everybody, welcome to the Newsletter. I'm Christine McIver. I am the founder of Inspired Choices Network, a producer and a host. And with me today, I have the beautiful Milica Jelenic, who is also a producer and a host of her own show, The Pleasure Zone. And we have Rhonda Burns here with us. Rhonda is making her debut appearance on our newsletter. Thank you for joining us, Rhonda. And Rhonda is a producer on the network, and she's been a host as well. So
I'm going to be a host.
She is?
Is it not coming this week?
Oh my gosh. I don't know. We're gonna have to go over. We're gonna have to go over to the network and see. So Milica is actually our featured host this week. Woo, woo! Woo! So for all of you who love Milica, you get to hear a little bit more about her amazing show. And for all of you who are like, I've always been curious about this The Pleasure Zone and this woman, Milica, tell us what your show is about.
It's about pleasure. I know that's shocking. It's really about cooking. No, it's not. It's about pleasure in the body, which could involve cooking, but I haven't talked about that. So we talk about bodies, pleasure, sex. We talk about all things that could enhance pleasure in so many different ways. Looking at pleasure from everybody's perspective on the planet, and sociologically, anthropologically, historically, you name it. I love looking at all the angles of how we can invite more pleasure into our lives, and that's what I like to do. And
awesome.
Yes. And I also have been offering, if you do listen to my show, you might find some special offers. So I dare you to listen.
She's learning to tease people. She is learning to tease. Well, Milica, you have been on the network now since 2014?
I've been on since that's July 2014, so just over 5 years. Just finished my 250th episode.
Amazing. And it was so funny, just like many hosts, she said to me the first time I said, hey, have you ever thought about having a show? She said, what would I ever talk about for an entire hour? And da-da-da-da, she's still talking, which is fabulous. One of the things I love about you and your show is how you show us, like you said, the history and what's been going on in the world in a certain area. And and she's gone. Something I said. And she's back, yay.
Family loves being part of these videos. So loud when we go on.
That's funny. But what I love about you is what you've shown us, in many, many years gone by, lifetimes gone by, of what's created, what you're talking about today, and how that has led us to the way that we are with whatever that topic is now. That to me is a real gift in understanding what we believe this thing is, or where our judgments and points of view around something is. When you bring us that information, I absolutely love it. For me, that's one of my highlights of your show.
I love that, because that's one of the highlights for me in doing the show. Is I love the research of that. It's fascinating to me.
That's cool. Rhonda, what do you love about Milica's show?
Everything. And really an easy answer, and it's true, but I think I love, like, you in research. I'm just always astounded at the level of research you do and the information that you retain and share with us. It blows my mind.
Like, I know.
I don't have that kind of patience, so I love that because I learned so much.
So she's doing the work for you. That's awesome.
Oh yeah.
Well, so Milica's show is every Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 Central, 6 Mountain, and 5 Pacific. And you can catch her podcast all over the world. Just type in The Pleasure Zone in your phone and you'll find her. It's crazy. So let's go over to the network and see what's coming up this week with Everything Fabulous. So, of course, our featured host is Milica, and your show this past week was episode 250. It was a very interesting show.
It so was interesting.
I realized after talking on that show that there was a lot that I missed too. So
Is that right? So there might be a part 2?
there might be a part 2. That'll be more some other stuff. Yeah,
That's
that
very
was fun though. So common and uncommon paraphilias. If you don't know what paraphilias are, they are the para means beside, and philia is the love of something. So it's actually how we kind of have these strange connection love things to different things. It could be like your love of slippers and that you get turned on by slippers. And there are people that get turned on by slippers. Don't have the name in front of me for what that is. But
The love of puppets.
The love
that's
of
right. I do have pupaphilia, and I do have that.
I have technophilia.
You do have technophilia. I've never met anybody who gets so turned on by, I mean, she turns me on by talking about her turn on by different technical things. She's like, oh my God, you got to see this app. And she has an orgasm talking about apps, which I love. Love that.
Don't tell everybody my secrets. Here you can come and check out on our schedule what's coming up when. You can see all the amazing different shows. If you'd love to hear about our hosts and their experience, you can watch a bunch of videos in there. And then you can check out all of our previous radio shows, most recent previous radio shows, TV shows, and our articles. And this week, our brand new host,
Love it.
Who is that?
This is Rhonda Burns. Rendezvous with Rhonda.
Hell yeah.
Rendezvous. Woohoo. I love it.
Rhonda, give our listeners what they can expect from HPC going forward.
It's going to be a party. Rendezvous, simply meeting with. So I'm just so excited. It's just going to be whatever wants to come through. But it's going to be lighthearted. It's going to be loving. It's going to be truth-telling. It's going to be educational, entertaining. I'm just going to show up and be me because that's all I know how to do. So
nice.
Come find out.
Woo-hoo! I cannot wait. Oh my God. And then we have articles that our hosts and our host guests write. And this week we have an article from Dana Lewis, Is Your Sensitivity a Superpower? And, we talk a lot about that, especially at this time in space, people talking about being sensitive to different things. It's a great article. Do check that out. So let's check out our future shows, what's coming up. So first thing, Monday morning with the SOAR Experience with Lori Hawkins, we have Are You Listening? And her guest, Sue Jacobs. And it says, have you ever experienced something in your life that stopped you cold in your tracks? That's going to be a great show.
So the next show after that is Living in a Revolution with Gina Lean Mbanyaz Musi. And she's coming from us from Lebanon.
Yeah, there's a revolution going on in Lebanon right now.
Yeah. That's probably why she's talking about that. So Joy of Vulnerability Pizza is her show, and she's on at 11 a.m. EST. So Living in a Revolution, and she is living in one, so she's got some authority on that.
Yes, totally.
And then we go to Candace Mao and Everyday Joy, and 12 Eastern, she will be talking about the joy of curiosity. One of my favorite topics. I love curiosity.
And I mean, joy is her jam, so it'll be
right every day.
Every day, baby, every day. Then we have our parent whisperer, Mary Dravis Parrish, with BU Parenting. And this week she's talking about 10 keys for family happiness. And going into the holidays, I think that might be a really, really key show to listen to for everyone.
I love that. So the Eye Skin Coach with guest Christine McIver. I love that. Christine's going to be guesting most of the day.
She's everywhere.
Wow, I am guesting twice.
I love that. So that'll be on Monday, November 4th at 3 p.m.
Yep.
On the Conscious Beauty Talk with Amy Wall. I still have yet to listen to her show, but everybody's talking about the amazing brilliance that Amy is with beauty coaching. So very cool. That's something that I avoid. So I think it's probably a show I'll listen to because there's something usually in it when I'm avoiding it.
Exactly. She's
nudge about my show too, if you're
Yes, I'm a big fan of Amy since we first met, and I was honored to have a one-on-one with her and really been quite surprised, especially someone who's been doing, my first business with skincare. So this was like a huge eye opener. So I'm honored to be a guest and talk about my experience with that.
And Monday, November 4th at 5 Eastern, Kathy Cook Noble, Financially Speaking, is talking Your Words Affect Your Finances with guest Christine Noble. So I bet that's her family member.
Yeah, that is actually her husband's uncle's wife.
Wow.
Okay.
So the husband and the uncle are very close in age, like, you know,
Okay.
probably 5 years apart or something like that. And it was actually, I met Christine Noble online like 6 or 7 years ago, and she introduced me to Kathy
Cool.
3 years ago. Very cool.
Awesome.
I love how connections come.
Totally.
Oh, look, who's that?
There she is again.
This was not
Girl gets
planned.
around.
This is a really random invitation that I put out because Christine had a fabulous show last week where she was talking about many things, but she brought up the levels of conscious competence. And I was intrigued because I hadn't looked at that in terms of sex and relationships. So I invited the resident expert on levels of conscious competence to come and discuss how that might apply to sex and relationships. So that's what we're going to be co-hosting, talking about. She's not my guest, she's my co-host.
Co-host. And what it was really cool, like I'm in the middle of doing my radio show, and as if you know, we have a chat room, and she's like messaging me, hey, you want to be my guest next week? And da-da-da. Like, okay. It was in the middle of my show. It was so fun. And it just popped, and I'm really excited about that. So then we follow up Wednesday morning. We kick off with In Pursuit of Truth with Aideen Tifanola. And this week she has The Magic of Monogamy with guest Dr. Megan Fleming. And she has been doing all month Sextober, but she has so many guests, it's flowed over into November. So she's still on the Sextober topics, which is I absolutely love.
They've been amazing. Yes. And at 12 Eastern on Wednesday, Love, Life, and All Things Weird, Heal Your Life the Energy Way. Megan and Suzanne talking everything that life is stuck is because of energetic imprints. Yeah. So tune into that one.
And then Rhonda re-emerges from her growth period. Her first show with Rendezvous with Rhonda beginning again, and that is going to be on Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern
Standard. It's a nooner. Central time. It's a nooner, baby.
Yeah, so she's in Central time, so it's a nooner for her. She loves the nooner. She's like,
she's at noon with Rhonda. Who doesn't want that?
Right?
Whoa. Like every man in the world is going to be like, I'm still listening to Rhonda at noon.
Having a nooner. There you go. Okay, and then go ahead, Melissa.
Oh, I could. A Time to Mourn with Keisha Clarke. So Keisha's going through a period of mourning right now over a loss of her sweet, sweet kitten. And so she has a lot of authority right now on this topic as well. And I'm really curious to see how she is doing with this and what she's taken out of it. So I think this show should be very enlightening for anybody who's had any kind of loss and is mourning.
Yeah, and I love that she's honoring herself and she's speaking to this. I think that we oftentimes speak about the woohoo, and we don't talk about the challenging times. And if we want to get to the woohoo, we need to talk about and go through and move through the challenging times and what gifts those challenging times are to us. So, and that was kind of what my show was last week. What was the title of that again? Oh, why even bother?
Yes, why even bother? Yeah.
And it blew me away. That's what happens when you have your own radio show.
Awesome. And moving on to Jen Pasok, the ads maven, at 3 p.m. Eastern. She's going to be talking profitable ads strategies. She is the Facebook queen in terms of ad strategies, etc. So she's had a great deal of fantastic content. So excited.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, you just want to go back and listen to this again.
Yes. Take lots and lots of notes. Yes.
Exactly. Then we have Dana Lewis from Luscious Leadership this week. She's continuing her Harvest series, and this week is Accelerate and Optimize Your Career part 2. My gosh, it could be part 20. There's so much to that in the world around our careers, for sure.
Nice. And then after, we've got Miss Christine McIver with her show that was inspired by last week's show called Universe, Show Me the Next Step. So I think it's awesome because, again, Christine is the queen of next steps. Honestly, never met somebody who can create such radical change so quickly and so often. So show me the next step would be a great question.
It could be a real revealing show.
Could be.
You're so funny, honey.
It wasn't planned, but likely will be.
All right, so we're moving into Friday, November the 8th, 10 a.m. Eastern on Bring Your Brilliance with Carla Taylor. She has a guest, and the title of that show is Capture More Customers with Rockstar Positioning. Who doesn't want more of that? With guest Dr. Ari Zelmanow, and I apologize if I mispronounced that. I think that's how it's pronounced. So that's exciting. And I believe I saw that her guest has a criminal investigations background. So it's really interesting. Yeah, I think I saw that. So definitely tune in for that.
Wow, that's very cool.
Yeah.
Then we have our Dr. Deborah Unipan, and this coming Friday, she's going to be talking about relatives. Who asked for them? Do I have to be nice? I think
Dr. Deb.
We should actually have Mary Travis Parrish and Dr. Unipan talking, right, about family and everything. And Dr. Deborah, she may have this angel show, but yeah, she brings it. She get ready to
every single week.
It's phenomenal. Yeah.
Next, we got Miss Lisa. What does space mean to you? And that, wow, so that's interesting, actually, as I think about what does space mean to me. And Lisa, she's the space whisperer. She's our resident space whisperer. I think she's the resident of the universe's space whisperer. So she's going to be talking about all things about what space means to you.
Right.
Cool. So join her and find out, because you might blow your mind.
And she's another one that was very similar to Milica, because Milica and Lisa started within a month of each other. And when I asked her as well, she said, well, what would I talk about? And now Lisa travels the world talking about specifically about this and all the space whispering. And you'd be amazed at the contribution that can be to your world. So definitely check out Lisa.
Lisa's show definitely contributed to her business growth, because most of the people who invite her to speak around the world have listened to her show and were inspired by her show. So just saying, having a show might actually bust your business wide open.
But you wouldn't want that, though.
Would definitely wouldn't want that. And moving into one of our newer shows, talk about mind-blowing. My mind was blown last week. I was geeking out on all things Tiyoko. So at 2 p.m. Eastern, Cosmic Manifesting and Multidimensional Creation Mechanics with Tiyoko on her show. And let me tell you, you want your mind blown, you want to go to places, like it was amazeballs, just saying. Yeah, so definitely.
I had the honor of debuting with her to the platform and asking her all sorts of questions. And I'm telling you, it stretched my brain. It was
an energetic ride, wasn't it?
Oh, she is gonna demand that you step up. It's phenomenal.
I love it. I'm gonna have to listen to that while I'm baking today.
And our closing out our week is our amazing Dr. Andy's World. Dr. Andy talking about how do you know if your pet is in pain?
Great question.
It's very cool. Dr. Andy has a completely different viewpoint. She is a chiropractor, an animal chiropractor, but she's also a spiritual, someone who connects spiritually with animals as well. And she trains their humans. And that's what she does on the radio. She's training all of us and speaking for the animals. So it's great. So that's what's happening on the network. We have so much going on. It's absolutely phenomenal. We love talking and sharing all the brilliance of what everybody's bringing. You can come over to the podcast, and we have over 1,000 podcasts that you can listen to. And if you want to listen, you can listen live on 54 platforms now. These are all the places where we live stream our shows. And this is just a sampling of our podcast locations where you can get us both on the computer or on your smartphone. You can catch us on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Luminary, Blueberry, Breaker, like YouTube, you name it. You name it, we are there. So wherever you are in the world, remember, you can make an inspired choice and you can benefit from all of these fabulous creations. So until next week, everyone, bye for now. Bye for now.